welcome. Here we are. I forgot whatever war this is, but hey. Here we are, our next war in the season. So the first fight we have here is Path 3, Node 3 against the leader. And we're gonna be using Future Ant-Man. I did apply the instant damaging pre-fight of the Maker, just to make my instant damage deal more. And I also completely removed willpower and any healing masteries for this fight, as I just don't want to deal with leaders, anything to make my regen go down or reverse. So the big thing here is we're watching out for the falter on every 10 hits. And since leader is a tactic defender, we need to knock him down to get endurance so we can ignore the unstoppable. So I'm not really doing, ideal Ant-Man gameplay by either intercepting or punishing the heavies. That way I can build up more armors, get, bigger damage and all that going on. But hey, we're just gonna make it work. So managed to get off a special 2, and unfortunately we lost one of our detonations before we got the passive detonation again. But this time we're about to fire an SV2 with 2 detonations going on, so our damage would be a lot nicer than it was previously. And leader goes down. One of the good things I like about Future Ant-Man is the guy is just tanky, especially once you have enough armors where if the opponent does a full combo on you, they're stunned. Now ideally you don't want that to happen if you're on the stun reflection node, but hey. And here we're up against, maybe I was on path 6, I don't know. But here we're up against Captain Britain. There's the bleed. Okay, yeah, we're on path 6, not 3. Ignore me, that leader was on node 6. This war happened a while ago. And we're coming here with the Maker. Now, previously we had this fight before, and we didn't die, but we took some hits. But as time has gotten to go on, I've gotten to use the Maker more, especially in last month's Battlegrounds meta, or the previous season. And I just came to just accept the fact that, the guy's a parry heavy champion. There we go. Boom. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. We applied all of our pre-fights. We get to our SP1, land the mine, and every time we charge the heavy, the cooldown timer on the mine kind of decreases a bit more. And that's exactly what we're about to do now. Just parry heavy. And as you can see, we're ticking her down. Now, unfortunately, we had knocked her into a mine beforehand, but we recovered and we managed to get off the detonation of the mine. 172k burst damage. We finished with full health. So yeah, I like the Maker. I can't lie, I like the Maker. He's currently an R4 candidate for me. It's just simple, take you back to Mr. Fantastic roots, parry heavy. So now section 2, we're on path 8, and I get to bring an old favorite of mine, Mojo. Mojo was literally my first rank 3 Mystic 6-star, and my third, back when rank 3 6-stars were a big deal, and my third rank 3 champion. It was funny because I pulled 6-star Mojo, his featured crystal, the 300 unit crystal came around, and I was just on a very hot win streak, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do anything. And I had an alliance mate who said, I bet you won't try one crystal. And I tried one crystal and I got a 6-star Mojo. And after that, the rest was history. He is a champ currently in the Incursions crystal. I do highly value his awaken ability. That's where his fury is blocked behind and his big damage. And as you can see, we're just making all of the buffs expire very quickly against Gore. We're gaining power, so much power. And yeah, if he wasn't doing SP1, I would have hit him with an SP3 just to show off. But hey, finished full health. That was our only Mojo fight, unfortunately. But you know, when he works, the guy works. So now we're up against North Star. I don't remember if I did this fight previously this season. I'm behind on videos. I'm getting caught up. Or if this was like my first run. I can tell. If I throw a heavy after his heavy, yeah, I think this is my first run. Okay. So like I said, Fat Man, Future Ant-Man's very safe. North Star did an entire combo on me. He got stunned. So we backed up to the corner because when I did like practice fights trying to, you know, time my heavy to knock down, punishing his heavy, it really didn't work for me unless I was in the corner. So that's why we're here. We're doing the knockdowns one, and this helps gets us more endurance, which so we can ignore the unstoppable. And two, there's like a protection node where the guy has to be knocked down to remove it. And plus, hey, since we're interrupting his heavy, you know, it does allow us to gain armor up. Think about it, the node does have one eye open, so you have to be careful when North Star is stunned because that damage is reflected back to you. And unfortunately, I realized I threw my SP2 while the protection is up, but look, you can see how much damage we did, and that was, you know, what, 60% protection. Unfortunately, we were too late on throwing the SP or countering the heavy, but with all the armors, it makes us very tanky, so that special did very little damage to us, even with the prowess. So at this point, it's like, hey, just play it safe. Here we go, North Star, he punishes, we punish back. We managed to fire the SP2 without protection. And while the detonation was active, and down he goes. So yeah, like I said, Future Ant-Man, you know, you can just play safe. You can need a few hits if you need to, and you'll be a-okay. You might need to be awakened, but you'll be a-okay. Next we have this Node 41 Cassandra, who, you know, I was assigned Future Ant-Man here, and also, I did debate about using Maker here, since Maker is, Neuroshock immune. But I was like, yeah, you know, we can make fan work here too. So the initial plan right now is just to kind of spam a couple of SP1s and get our big SP2 up. With Cassandra, you don't want to interrupt her heavy. If you do, you will get like stunned and she'll finish countering you. Now, you can punish, currently I don't know if it's bugged or not, you can punish her immediately after the second hit of her heavy. And luckily she did a full combo into us, so she got stunned and we took advantage of that moment. I'm only doing one hits right now just to kind of speed up my detonation timer, because I do have a power drain, you know, once the detonation triggers. And at this point, I don't know if I could punish her specials. This is like my first time fighting her, and I'm like, I didn't practice that part in the duel, so yeah, we're just gonna go from where we are right now. We won't punish her specials, and we stuck to like SP1 spams. If I did it like properly, we would have really powered control this fight, and we wouldn't have to deal with her throwing specials, but hey, we're here. Things are going smooth, we're doing okay. We finally managed to fully dex a special of hers. And so yeah, we're just going on along. And at this point I'm like, okay, I'll just go for the big SP2 and end it. And voila. So we look here, I think we took a little screenshot so I can like save it for myself for later. And that has been my contributions for this war. Thank you guys for tuning in. Yeah, you know, like I said, getting better with using the Maker. Really do like Future Ant-Man, really do like Mojo. So this war I got to use a lot of champs I enjoy. Until next time, peace.